Hi guys, it's Lynette. Every once in a while, I have a taste for a homemade biscuit. Today was one of those days. I went to one of my go-to recipes for sweet cream biscuits. First things first, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1 tablespoon baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon salt in the bowl. We're going to mix all of that together until it's well combined. Once everything is combined, I'm going to grate in 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm only using a little bit of butter here because we are using heavy cream in our biscuits, which has plenty of fat, but I like a little bit of extra flavor that the butter gives to the biscuits. So once you grate that in, I'm going to stop and just show you what the grating looks like. And then I'm going to finish grating up so I can get a better angle to grate it. So I'm going to grate that into my bowl. I'm just going to mix that together gently with my hands. I'm not really going to cut it in like I would regular butter or shortening for another biscuit recipe, but just mix it in just enough. All right, after the butter's mixed in, we're going to add in 1 cup of cold, heavy cream. And then we're going to mix all of that together until everything comes together. And just every once in a while, you may have to add an extra tablespoon or 2 of heavy cream, depending on how moist your dough is. So as I'm mixing, I'm kind of realizing it's a little bit dry. And I can tell because some of the flour bits on the bottom of the bowl are not connecting or sticking to the ball of dough. You want everything to stick together. And even as I roll it around gently, because you don't want to overwork your dough, I'm noticing that there's still some dry bits in the bottom of the bowl. So I'm going to add like another tablespoon of heavy cream. Not a lot. You don't want to add a lot. You don't want it to be too wet. And that may have been a 1/2 tablespoon. I didn't even measure, but it really wasn't a lot. And you can see those dry bits on the bottom are starting to stick to the dough. So that is exactly what I want. You want your bowls to be virtually clean when you take your dough out of the bowl. Look at that bowl, almost clean. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my dough on my surface, and I have a little bit of extra all-purpose flour in the corner. I'm going to use some of that to just dust my surface. And then we're just going to add our biscuit dough right on top of that flour, and then I usually sprinkle a little bit of extra flour right on top of the biscuit dough. Now you can use a rolling pin here. I just pat mine out with my hand. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to fold the dough maybe once or twice. I don't want to overwork it. So you'll see here, after I clean my glove off, I'm just patting out my dough. And then I'm just going to fold it. And it's just going to give me some extra layers. And just pat the biscuit dough out again. Do the same thing. And I'm just going to pat it out. Like I said, you can use a rolling pin if you feel more comfortable with the rolling pin. I just like to get it done super quick without too many dishes. So I just pat it out with my hand. So here's my biscuit cutter. I'm just going to dip it in some of that extra flour that is on my work surface. And you can see I'm patting my biscuits out pretty thin, maybe about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And I'm going to show you what the thickness looks like. Just like that. It looks so good. And just continue to cut your biscuits with your biscuit cutter. And you can see I'm working my dough very little. That's the main thing about biscuits. You do not want to overwork your dough. That will result in tough, hard biscuits. So you don't have to knead your dough like regular bread. And when you're cutting, I'm just cutting straight down, not twisting, lifting my biscuits up. So I have a greased pan here. I just put some vegetable shortening in my pan. You can use nonstick cooking spray. I don't usually use butter because butter may burn. I have my oven preheated to 450 degrees, so they're going to bake at a pretty high temperature. So I usually don't use butter. So the scraps of the biscuit dough, you see I just push those back together very, very gently. And then I'm just going to pat my biscuit dough out one more time. And just get a few more cuts. All right, so I think I can do one more in that corner. Yeah. One more. I got a little piece chipped off the side, but it's okay. So I'm going to squeeze this last one into my pan. We're going to pop these in a 450-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. Depends on your oven. You just want to check them periodically while they're cooking. So this is what they look like when they come out of the oven. They look so good. They fluff up nicely. I'm just going to put a little bit of butter right on top of my biscuits. This is optional, but I like to put the butter on while they're nice and hot. Some people also like to drizzle on a little bit of honey, which is totally up to you. All of it will be delicious. So I'm going to show you the inside. They are so tender, so flaky, so soft. They are really, really easy and really, really delicious. So I serve these with some bacon. You can see the bacon off in the corner, scrambled eggs, if you have some jelly, some honey, whatever you like. These are a super simple recipe, almost fail proof. you can definitely make these. And I hope that you will definitely give the recipe a try. If you do, let me know how they turn out. Here's breakfast for my mom and breakfast for me. And I will talk to you all later. Thank y'all so much for watching. Love you all. Bye.